Rust and Alec Baldwin's fame exposed. The shot echoed through the dusty set of the movie Rust, a low-budget western meant to revive Alec Baldwin's fading star. He pulled the trigger. A live bullet tore through the air. Cinematographer Halyna collapsed, her life snuffed out in an instant. Director Joel Souza clutched his shoulder, wounded by the same deadly projectile. This wasn't a scene from the script. It was a real-life catastrophe, and Alec Baldwin, the man holding the smoking gun, stands at the heart of the scandal. Rust has finally hit screens, but the spotlight isn't on the film. It's on Baldwin, the villain whose arrogance, negligence, and desperate attempts to dodge blame have turned a tragedy into a Hollywood nightmare. His world is crumbling, and the court of public opinion has already delivered its verdict: guilty. Baldwin's meltdown, a star unraveling. Since that fateful day in October 2021 at Bonanza Creek Ranch, Alec Baldwin's life has spiraled into chaos. Once a charismatic leading man, he's now a pariah, his public persona reduced to a series of unhinged outbursts and shameless deflections. In a tearful ABC News interview, Baldwin insisted, "The trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger." Yet, a 2023 firearms analysis obliterated his claim, concluding the revolver could only fire with a deliberate trigger pull. The lie was exposed, but Baldwin doubled down, pointing fingers at everyone else. Armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, Assistant Director David Halls, even the crew who dared question his conduct. His meltdowns weren't confined to interviews. On social media, Baldwin lashed out at critics, dismissing them as haters while portraying himself as a victim of a media witch hunt. He accused tabloids of amplifying his guilt, claiming they wanted him to die. But the public wasn't buying it. Posts on X erupted with fury, branding him a narcissist and coward for refusing to accept responsibility. His attempts to spin the narrative only fueled the fire, with each outburst painting a portrait of a man desperate to cling to his fading relevance. The more he ranted, the deeper he sank into the quicksand of his own making. Brands cut ties, Hollywood's cold shoulder. The fallout was swift and brutal. Baldwin, once a bankable star, became radioactive. Endorsement deals vanished overnight as brands scrambled to distance themselves from the scandal. Major studios shelved projects linked to his name, unwilling to risk association with a man synonymous with tragedy. Even his reality show, The Baldwins, slated for 2025, drew scathing criticism, with ex-users mocking it as a desperate cash grab by a washed-up actor. The industry's rejection was more than financial. It was personal. Colleagues who once praised Baldwin's talent now whispered about his recklessness on set. Crew members from Rust revealed a chaotic production plagued by cost-cutting and safety lapses, with Baldwin, as co-producer, allegedly prioritizing budget over protocol. His reputation, meticulously built over decades, lay in ruins, replaced by a new label: liability. Hollywood had closed its doors, and Baldwin was left pounding on them, a fallen king banished from his own kingdom. Legal battles and public backlash, a villain on trial. Baldwin's legal saga reads like a Hollywood thriller, complete with twists, betrayals, and a controversial escape. In January 2023, he faced involuntary manslaughter charges alongside armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, accused of flouting firearm safety protocols. Prosecutors painted him as reckless, alleging he violated cardinal rules by pointing the gun at Hutchins without checking it. But in a stunning turn, the charges were dropped in April 2023, only to be reinstated in January 2024 after new evidence emerged. The trial in July 2024 was a circus of drama. Baldwin's high-powered legal team, led by Alex Spiro, accused prosecutors of withholding critical evidence, ammunition that could have explained how live rounds ended up on set. Judge Mary Marlowe Summer agreed, dismissing the case with prejudice, meaning Baldwin could never be retried. He wept in court, hugging his wife Hilaria, as if vindicated. But the victory was hollow. The public saw through the legal maneuvering, with ex-posts screaming, "He's guilty, no matter what the judge says." Gloria Allred, representing Hutchins' grieving family, condemned Baldwin's lack of remorse. "How about being kind to the family of the young mother that you killed?" she demanded, highlighting his refusal to apologize. Hutchins' mother, Olga Solovey, boycotted the Rust premiere, unable to stomach Baldwin's profiteering from her daughter's death. The backlash was relentless, with hashtags like #justice for Halyna trending as fans and activists decried Baldwin's evasion of accountability. In the court of public opinion, he was a villain who'd cheated justice, his smug demeanor only deepening the wound. The release of Rust, a tasteless triumph. Against all odds, Rust premiered at Poland's Kammermij Film Festival in November 2024, a move that reignited the controversy. For some, the film was a tribute to Halyna Hutchins, completed to honor her legacy. Her husband, Matthew Hutchins, settled a wrongful death suit to become a producer, ensuring their son would benefit financially. But for others, the release was a grotesque cash grab, with Baldwin at its center. Critics accused him of exploiting the tragedy to salvage his career, pointing to his starring role and producer credit as evidence of his shamelessness. The premiere was shrouded in scandal. Hutchins' family refused to attend, with Solovey blasting Baldwin for refusing to take responsibility. Meanwhile, Baldwin skipped the event, claiming he waived his fee and had no financial stake, a claim his own lawyers had to publicly clarify amid accusations of profiteering. Ex-users tore into the hypocrisy, with one post sneering, "Baldwin's selfless act is just another performance." The film's release, meant to be a moment of closure, instead became a lightning rod for outrage, with Baldwin's name synonymous with betrayal. Joel Souza's regret, a director's anguish. Director Joel Souza, wounded in the same shooting that killed Hutchins, carries scars both physical and emotional. In a gut-wrenching statement, he revealed his deep regret over Rust, confessing he wished he'd never written it. The trauma of the incident lingers, with Souza still recovering from the bullet that pierced his shoulder. His decision to finish the film came from a settlement with Hutchins' family, but it was a choice steeped in sorrow, not triumph. Souza's estrangement from Baldwin speaks volumes. The two have had no contact since the shooting, a rift that underscores Baldwin's isolation. While Souza grappled with guilt and loss, Baldwin was busy deflecting blame, leaving the director to bear the emotional weight alone. Souza's regret is a haunting reminder of the human cost of Baldwin's actions, a stark contrast to the actor's relentless self-preservation. Final thoughts on Baldwin's downfall. Alec Baldwin's downfall is a Shakespearean tragedy of his own making. Once a titan of Hollywood, he's now a cautionary tale, his legacy tainted by arrogance and deceit. He manipulated the narrative, painting himself as a victim while sidestepping accountability for the gun in his hand. His legal victories, secured through slick lawyering, couldn't erase the truth. He fired the shot that ended a life and shattered a family. The public sees him for what he is, a manipulative showman who'd rather play the martyr than face his sins. The shadow of Rust looms large, a grim monument to Baldwin's hubris. His career, once a glittering tapestry of accolades, is now a threadbare relic, unraveling with every defiant outburst. Civil lawsuits from Hutchins' family and crew members still loom, promising to drag his name through the mud anew. Baldwin's attempts to rebuild, through reality TV, podcast rants, or Rust's release, reek of desperation, met with skepticism and scorn. The man who thought he could outrun justice now finds himself cornered by the weight of his own actions. Epilogue: the death spiral of a career. Alec Baldwin believed he could emerge unscathed, his charm and fame shielding him from consequence. But the bullet he fired set off a chain reaction that destroyed his empire. Rust may be finished, but Baldwin's story is far from over. The world watches, waiting for the next act in his self-inflicted downfall, as the ghost of Halyna Hutchins lingers, demanding justice he refuses to give. This has been Alec Baldwin's Fame Exposed. If this expose on Alec Baldwin's Rust scandal gripped you, smash that like button, share this video, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Baldwin's guilty, or is he a victim of circumstance? The life of Halyna Hutchins has set, but her story continues. Subscribe to our channel for more explosive celebrity scandals, delivered raw and unfiltered. Stay tuned, because Hollywood's secrets never stay buried for long.